Hey guys, we're back. Out the Top, Season 2, Episode 2. I don't know what number that actually is. January 9th, 2024. I am in the new Rock Life Repo, whatever you want to call it, studio. And we literally have a table and two signs, and that's it. So bear with us. You're going to catch a little bit of an echo. And it is raining and winds 1,000 miles an hour. So you're probably going to catch some of that in the audio. Last week, we were at Top Trails. We kind of just went straight into Top Trails.
Right.
I kind of wanted to, we'll talk about that in just a second. But I kind of wanted to touch on a few things going into season 2, some changes that I think we should make. Last year on the especially the audio podcast, we done a lot of ads for a bunch of our sponsors. Those were sponsors of the race team, and if they want to continue doing that, they can get in touch with us. But we're not going to be doing that this year. We're just going to be coming in and hitting it hard. So I know there's some people who hate ads. So unless it's a Rock Life ad, it's probably not going to be on this year. I wanted to cut that out just to make it a little easier to listen to. So that's one good thing. Another, man, I don't know, I want to try and do some different events after being at Top Trails.
Right.
I want to try and do some different stuff like that throughout the year.
Absolutely. And that got my wheels turning, and which you and I have also talked about. Where do we go if we don't have the ability to race anymore? And we wanted to keep those guys on board that are like-minded. That's like, just go have fun and beat on our products, report back to us. If you race, good luck. If you go trail ride, be careful. And that's all there is to it. And, us going to Top Trails was kind of like us getting our feet wet. And I really enjoyed that. And I'm with you. Like, we've been going to some of these off-road shows, like exhibitions or expos. I don't know why I said exhibition, but, these off-road expos that we've been hitting up. And it's basically just to kind of see what's out there and getting content for any of those that follow us that want to see what's out there in the market.
Yeah, just different. I know the name of the thing is Out the Top, and that's hill climb, and that's fine. And we're still going to focus on that 100%.
Right.
Like that, and we're still racing. Like that, we're still going to be. We're not saying that we're going to ditch that, but while we're doing that, I think it's important for us as a group, and I'm including, this is just me and you talking here. I think it's important for us as a group to stay interested.
Right.
And if getting out and seeing other things helps that, because after, we had a good season a couple years ago. Last year you got a win, had some good runs. But man, the back half of that season was just brutal.
Right.
And you do too many like that in a row, and that'll make you not want to.
Right.
So racing and then trying to incorporate some of this other stuff. Listen, you might think I'm crazy, and I've not said this to you. If Southern Bounty comes back around, I know Top Trails right now is not on their schedule again, mostly out in Texas, Visions. I don't know why the full body can't run a small tire class. Just to do it.
We've thought about that.
Just to do it. Who cares if you win or not? Just do it.
Right. And we talked to Tony a good bit, and he's broadening his series, I guess you would say, as far as what he's got on his agenda for next year. But I'm with you. I think definitely it's a possibility. I mean, I'm excited about it. And
well, realistically, in the small tire class, and I'm going to say this, these mud guys are going to drag my ass for it. You could get in that class. I'm assuming, we fit the tire size. You wouldn't have to do nothing to it.
Right.
I think this is where they're going to drag my ass. I don't know. I think it will go through that on a set of Super Grip 32s.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think it will.
I'm with you. And if not, be fun trying.
Well, I mean, that's it. Just little stuff like that. I don't know. Just some ideas. But speaking of Top Trails, episode 1, our season 2 premiere, so far to date has been our most viewed, most downloaded, most watched, whatever, everything. It's been our best episode so far.
Right.
And that's in a week, a little over a week since it was put out. So that tells me all I need to know is that we need to continue doing stuff like that. We still have, and like I said, guys, we're not abandoning anybody. We're still, my love is still hill climbs, rock racing. Right. But just this other stuff's needed. It's a change of pace, a little different.
Yeah. Well, and like when, I say that we don't have the inability to race, like you said, we're not giving up on anything or shunning away or shying away from anything. It's just that we mainly focus on the National Rock Racing Series. There's 10 of those events throughout the year. So when you look at it as 52 weekends in a year and you race 10 of those, you've got 42 other weekends.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that I feel like we need to be gaining, some traction on getting footage for other events. And the Southern Bailey Series, or any series for that matter, that's within reasonable driving distance, to me is I'm not afraid to put it on the agenda.
No, and like I said, it's just fun. It's a change of pace. Racing is a family. I love our family in the National Rock Racing Association to death. But sometimes you just, you just want to go hang out with your friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meet new people. Your family will be there when you get back. I did talk to the Mud Diva today.
Oh, how about it?
Yeah, I talked to her today. Tony is not letting her live down, calling her father the buggy washer.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So there's still some jokes going around about that. I sent her a little care package for being on the show today. So when she gets that, if you're listening, if you're watching, when you get that, please post that up on the internet for everybody to see. It was a good thank you for being on the show.
I hope that you didn't send her the Zach Garner bikini t-shirt.
No.
Everybody's washing the buggy.
No.
Remember those?
No, I remember that.
I used to wear it bikini bottoms.
I remember.
Oh, that'd be great.
No, it wasn't that. We sent her a little care package that'll help her in the buggy washer out. So, yeah, if you're listening, post that up, tag us in it when you get it. I'll be anxious to see that, and I'll tell you what it is after we get off the camera. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Oh no.
Okay, so we were just talking about Southern Bounty, and I know we've spent a lot of time on them in the last year and a half, and especially last week. But listen, guys, they're good to us. I feel like I don't know if he wants me to tell this, but we're going to tell it anyways.
I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, I'm jealous.
I'm jealous too. And listen, let's just tell it. Then I'll tell it. Tony posted a thing on Facebook the other day. I can't remember what the post was. It was kind of cryptic. And everybody was like taking guesses on what it was. Like, oh, it was kind of like, what have I got myself into, or something like that.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what he got into. Tony's running King of the Hammers.
That's great.
With Team Momentum. They're setting him up in what was a top 5 car at King of the Hammers once before. I talked to him for a little bit today. And Tony, if you didn't want the cat out of the bag, I apologize. It's out. Because I called him. Actually, I called him to see if he had address for the Robinette girl, and he's like, "No, but dude, I've got to tell you, like, I'm frantic here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I've got myself in a mess." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, 10 days out, and we decide we're going to Hammers. I said, "Oh, you're going to go do a mud bog at Hammers?" I said, "How's that going to work?" He said, "No, I'm racing." I said, "Oh, shit."
That's great.
10 days out, got a capable car, never seen the place. So I talked to him for a minute. I said, "Tony, do you have help?" He's like, "No." He said, "We're putting together a race team." He said he's got the team momentum behind him. He said, "But we don't really have race support." You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he told me, I didn't realize that Kyle Chaney had done some racing with him. So they've got the resources and
right.
the knowledge to get the people. That's where I would struggle going to Hammers. Not getting to Hammers, not racing Hammers, not nothing. It's the knowledge to get the people put in place so you can race.
Right.
To run a pit, and things like that. Of course, I guess there's pit crews for hire out there.
Yeah, from what I understand, it works something like that. And like for anybody just to jump in and go, like, blows my mind. Our buddy Alan Clark did that. I don't know how many years ago, but he just, like, I don't remember the whole story, but basically he sent his car out there. Then he flew out there. No pre-running. I don't even know if he qualified. Like, I knew he qualified to race, but I don't know if he was able to actually qualify for
car.
position. But top 10 finish.
Oh, shit.
So, I mean, that's, to pull that off is, I mean, kudos to him. But, like, Tony going out and having a top 5 car, that's going to be cool.
Well,
I'm excited.
I asked him, I said, "Well, what class are you running?" Because I was thinking, well, never been. They'll put him in stock class. Stock class, there may be 10, 12 entries probably. There may be more this year. I think last year there was only like 10 or 12 in stock class. And I'm like, okay, if he's in stock, like, a podium would be, it's not out of reach.
Right.
He can be finish and it can be done. And he goes, "We're running open." I was like, "Oh, so let's not get our toes wet. Let's just go."
Right.
But he did say that their big goal was to get a time. They didn't care if they,
right.
What they done. They want to get a qualifying time.
Right.
So there is a couple different finishers of Hammers. Some people think just because they cross the finish line, no matter what time, they're a finisher. But they do shut the timers off at some point. To me, I would want to get there before they shut the timers off, at very least.
Right. And at least have a documented
time. Because if not, it reverts back to your previous lap, best of my knowledge, and that's how they score you. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's his goal, is to record a time, and then whatever happens. And we talked for a few minutes, and he did seem like he was all irons in the fire trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll be fun. I'd love to do something like that, but I'm kind of one of those, like, I need to prep for something like that. I'd have to go out at least the year before and at least spectate, see what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, when I first started knowing Paul Wolf, and when Paul and Nathan started going out there, they were going out in November,
Mhm.
ahead of time, October, November, and pre-running then, and then coming back, working on their cars, freshening their cars, and then they would go out, and they would still go out early,
Right.
and they were familiar with most of the area by the time race time came. In his situation, like, he's going to get to do, I don't know what day he's going, but he's going to get to pre-run very limited.
Hmm.
So a lot of it's going to be seat of the pants. I hope he's got a good co-dog. That's all I
Yeah.
know. Maybe at least the co-dog will have some experience. But he told me who was co-driving, and for the life of me, I cannot remember. I didn't write it down. But now that I think about it, I think he said his co-dog had never been out there too. So
Oh boy.
good luck. Good luck to them fellas. We will be watching the live feed from the comfort of somewhere indoors.
There
And
you go.
I'll keep the tracker on him, and we'll keep you guys posted if we can throughout the day, whatever day that is, of how they're running, what they're doing. Like I said, he's been a great friend of ours, so we'll try and keep the world updated on how they're doing during the actual race. Now, you've seen Tony this past weekend at the Offroad Expo in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Right.
You just done PRI. I had to think about it.
Right.
You just done PRI, which is the Performance Racing Industry Show, mainly big motors and all that jazz.
Right.
We really don't have the National Off-Road Expo anymore, I don't think. We had it at Louisville for years. Last one I went to was in Nashville at the fairgrounds probably 3 or 4 years ago. I've not heard of one since. I guess the Arkansas show, and then Dayton has a show, and then they used to do one in the Smokies, I think. So our big national off-road show has kind of turned into some regional deals.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what was going on down there, who was there. I seen some
So
pictures. There were some sick-ass rigs, look like.
yeah, and this was mainly it's advertised as the Off-Road Products Expo, and I I know that the venue is like 50,000 square foot or so. I don't know how many vendors were there, but if I had to guess, I would say probably 75 to 100 vendors. There's a lot more room for growth. We did see Tony, talk to him for a little bit. He did not mention anything about King of Hammers, but I think he did that on purpose. He would have known I'd been trying to sneak in his truck or figure out a way to to yeah, I can't think of the word, but like just kind of pile up and uh,
He
tag along
he
with
would get to
something.
Hammers, open his toolbox, and there you would be,
Yeah,
a stowaway
there I see
in
my big
his
ass stuffed in
toolbox.
the toolbox. But it's a pretty neat show. The thing that let me down was I was kind of hoping to see some of the rock bouncing guys out there, since it is off-road products. Uh, I thought there'd be more like tire vendors and stuff like that, but a lot of mud guys. And that being so close to Arkansas, I overheard somebody talking that it's like 3 hours from Texas, and a lot of those guys in Texas are basically mud guys, and that the state's kind of divided like half and half. You've got rock crawlers and you've got mud guys, and then the mud guys just happen to be closer to Arkansas. So, there's a lot of jacked up kind of one-off builds, mostly like Rangers and Defenders, built. And pretty neat. We run into Trip with Mid America. He was out there. They were kind of showcasing their MOA series coming up this year. Didn't get a chance to really go in depth and talk to him about his knowledge about the whole U4 stuff that was going on last month versus what they're going to be doing in house at Mid America. There was a couple of different vendors there that was showcasing different products, but as far as it being off-road products, it seemed like there's a lot of the window missing that these companies could get out there and actually showcase their products. It's more or less like companies building tree kickers and suspension stuff like that.
I mean that, and don't get me wrong. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like it was more of a UTV show,
right,
than it was an off-road show, and maybe that's what they want. I don't know. And maybe we should go as Rock Life at some point. But dude, I miss the Unlimited Off-Road Expo that we had in Louisville, and I don't know. I don't know the numbers on it. I don't know the attendance. I don't know why it quit. Man, the first couple years they had that show, it was so awesome.
right.
That was the first time I ever seen a Razor do a backflip.
Oh yeah.
Was up there. Just different. They had a little track outside, and then inside there was just vendors everywhere. Outside vendors everywhere. It was one of the, and I had been to some, I'm trying to remember what year that was. I'd been to some Rock Bouncer events and seen some rigs, but I think the first Louisville show was the first time I ever seen Plowboy.
Yeah.
I think it was there, and I remember seeing it, and I think he built, didn't Richie build a mega truck at one point?
He did.
Yeah, they were both there. And just seeing that stuff, I think, UTVs are cool. That's what we do. But I miss the big high horsepower stuff too.
Right.
I don't know how we get that back or where we get it from, or, even when the show was in Nashville at the fairgrounds, I don't think there was anywhere for them to run them like
right.
that, and do any kind of, I remember the mega trucks running up there at the Off-Road Expo. I wish we'd get back to that. I just don't know. I know they'd done it at Texas Motor Speedway for a while. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm with you. I would like to see, have now been able to go to PRI. I would like to see PRI's version of strictly off-road stuff. Like I would, like you were talking about the old expos, like bring that stuff back. Is basically what we need.
I don't know why it went away. Honestly, the ones I went to seemed well attended. But I think part of that is it's hard to, if you're not, okay, I'm trying to think how to say this. If you're not like me, if I went as Rock Life, I would take a trailer full of stuff and I would try and sell it out.
Right.
That's how I justify the weekend. If I sell out, I've done great. But you've got people who are just there, like displaying stuff. How do they know if they actually made any money, or if they, if they're going to get that return on their investment? And I think sometimes that's hard to tell in the off-road business. But then again, man, the whole world is going to social media.
Yeah.
The expo's cool. But people can see these products at the click of a button now, way easier than what they could 10 years ago.
Right. Absolutely.
So maybe that is, that may be hurting it some. I don't know. I'm just spouting ideas.
I don't know, but when I tried to look up on the Off-Road Expo, never could find out on their website, which I probably, missed over it. But I was never able to find out like who the vendors were and like what section they would be in, but I did run across like vendor pricing, and I mean you could get a booth starting out at $1,000. I mean, so that's not a whole lot of money if you're a fab shop or a business wanting to showcase your product. So, the good thing about that is it's not like it's going to cost you 15 or 20 grand to go set up and cross your fingers and hope you sell enough products. But
to me, it's more those shows, because we used to do boat shows and stuff all the time. To me, it's more about letting people know you're there.
Right.
Letting people know you're alive. We're still in business. We're still selling product. So, like I said, as a store like myself, I would want to actually sell product. But as a manufacturer of a product, I would just be shaking hands and hey guys, we're here. You can get our stuff. You may not be able to buy it right there, but you can get it and see it and touch it and feel it. And I don't know. We used to do boat shows, and my grandpa he hated them. Don't go. Spends too much money. We didn't go a couple years. Boat rentals. Started going back. Boat rentals. Maybe yep. Coincidence, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, guys. So we done towards the end of last season. We done a schedule episode where we kind of went over everybody's schedule, and there was one crossover date between Outlaw and National Rock Racing Association. Dan says that he's seen somewhere today that's been changed.
Right. I saw a post shared with the new Outlaw dates, and basically there was no change on any date other than the weekend of West Virginia has been changed from, I may get it to pull up here, technical difficulty.
It is in April, wasn't it?
But it was on the 13th in April, and it's been moved up a week to the 6th.
Oh, so they went backwards. I don't know how cold it is in West Virginia, 1st April.
I don't know. That could be interesting if they're still getting some snow.
I'd say it'd be hit or miss. But at least they made it to where I might go to that now. Right. Because that was going to, I think I was going to go to it anyways, honestly, but because that's Arkansas weekend for you, or was Arkansas weekend for you. But I think I was going to go to the West Virginia event just because it's half as close. So that's good. I'll get to go to that, and then I'll still get to watch you guys race via Rock Racing TV the next Saturday. So that's good. Other news that we've noticed in the last week or two. I don't know why this has not been talked about more. Maybe because he's moved away from heel kill and rock racing as much as what he used to do. But the young phenom Cash LeCroy appears to be getting out of the Polaris world. Seen where short course cars had been sold, and maybe I'm late to the party on this. Seen where short course cars had been sold. Looked like he had a new Can-Am sitting in his shop. I know they're friends with some of those Can-Am guys. So,
right. And
then also, and you said it a minute ago, I don't remember the name, but the Rock Bouncer is for sale.
Right.
So is Cash, is he done with our world?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know that last year he focused on the MOA stuff.
Yeah, he only came to. I know he done the knockout races at Visions,
right?
In the dismissed buggy, and I can't remember. I want to say he run at least maybe one more NRRA event. I could be wrong. we've been seeing him less and less as he's been
Right.
doing the short course stuff, and with them selling the big buggy, hopefully they keep dismissed around. I mean, they've had that thing. Cash has been racing it for ever.
Right. I really feel like I know Cruz has been doing a little bit of running and getting some seat time. Cruz is Cash's little brother, and I know that he's been in the RS1 car a little bit, so they may be keeping dismissed in the stable for Cruz.
So I'm not going to get off on a tangent here, but have you ever seen that little 800 buggy that Cash started in, that Cruz drove for a while? Have you ever actually seen it and looked at it?
So that car was at the Monticello market.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
And I tell you that, I mean, it's nice. I mean,
it won our youth class. That's a well-built buggy.
Right.
You know, I'd seen videos of it for years, but I'd never actually seen it.
Right.
Until it was at the show.
I don't know who built it. I don't know much of the background on it other than I believe, like you said, it was maybe like an 800.
I think it's 800. Maybe.
I mean, it's wild.
Yeah, I was really impressed when I've seen it of how well it was put together. You know, we're building a little 570 buggy. It's going to be nothing like that. We're throwing some stuff together, making do with what we got, and that little 800 buggy's pretty sweet. But yeah, I don't know. I hate to see him go. Maybe, like I said, maybe he'll keep dismissed and he'll come keep us all in check every now and again. Right. And because no doubt he is a wheel man, has been for as long as I've been. He's been doing this longer than I have.
He's been at it a while.
Well, he won a National Rock Racing Association event when he was like 7 or 8. Like won it. Took home the trophy. I mean, so I don't know. He was the only one to climb both hills that day.
That's right. But I feel like we will see him, my guess, he will do the Mid-America short course this year. And then I really feel like next year or the year after we'll see him run some Ultra 4 stuff.
I'd say that short course stuff would be a blast. That's I don't know. That would be fun, and I get why they do it. I hate that we're losing. I mean, like I said, he didn't really race with us last year, anyways. But still, it was cool when he did come out because he would always put a whooping on everybody or try really hard.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Up next for you, you're going to the Parts Unlimited Dealers National Products Expo. I don't know what it's called. In Louisville.
Right. So basically, this is just for the Parts Unlimited dealers. And I'm not sure. I want to say last year, maybe on Sunday, they opened it up to the public. I'm not 100% sure.
It is
or
not.
Is it just a strictly dealer only?
Dealer only.
But it's one of those deals that it allows the dealers to go check out the Parts Unlimited vendors to see what is on display for what's coming up for the next year.
Yeah, there is some new stuff. And this is something I know there is a new tire being released there. I'm anxious to see how that does in the marketplace. High Lifter has a new tire coming out. It is supposed to be in the Rockzilla category.
Right.
Part numbers have been generated, but no pictures have been released. I seen High Lifter dropped a little teaser on the internet today, a blurred out picture of it. And listen, the little tagline was pretty good. They said they would post a picture of their new tire, but they thought that would be too tacky. So That may be a new, that may be a new tire that's going to be dropped there, and you'll be one of the first ones to see it. So occasionally usually I go to the expo too. Kids getting some tonsils taken out, so we're not going to be able to make it, but I appreciate you guys going in our stead. We went last year. It was a good time.
For sure.
There's some neat stuff there. There's a lot of street bike stuff, but there is some cool side by side products there, tires and wheels, different suspension components, things like that. It's just cool to see what's coming out and what may be exclusive to the dealers. All those things that are going to be there. Hopefully you'll get some video for us. All those things that are going to be there will be available through Rock Life Off-Road, and we'll talk about that a little bit in a couple weeks. Next week, guys, I'm a sissy, and it's going to be 0 here. I don't know if there's enough heat in this building yet to be able to record, so we're going to play next week by ear. If they give a little better forecast, and we may try and do something, but if it's going to be 0, we're going to have to skip next week because I'm not dragging all this stuff back to town to the other studio. So hopefully, at the very least, a couple weeks we'll be back. You got anything else?
That's it. We've looking forward to next weekend, and then before you know it, our season will be here, and we'll be ready to hit those dates wide open.
Oh, dude, we're shit.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it because I've got a list a mile long of stuff to get finished up.
You ain't never gonna finish it if you don't start it.
That's right.
You're starting to act like James Cantrell.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like it's one of those memes where it's like King of Hammers is next week. James is like, let me tear the machine down and prep.
Yeah.
It's like our race season starts in a few weeks. Let me build a buggy from scratch.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Good times. All right. Well, if nothing else, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Once again, thanks for making last week our biggest episode yet. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, go back and check that out. Guys, make sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, do all of those things, trying to help us out. We really appreciate every bit we get from you guys. The channel's growing on YouTube. It's growing on Spotify. So keep it coming. Keep the love coming. Also, the audio version, I know we talked about this last year. The audio version, you are able now to go on anchorfm.com and leave us an audio message. That feature is back. Go to our page. There's a button there that says leave an audio message. Leave a message for us, guys. Tell us what you want us to talk about, who you want us to talk to. Give us pointers, ideas, whatever you want. Call us bad names. We don't care. Just something for us to talk about. So shoot that on there. Leave us a comment on YouTube, all of our Instagram, Facebook pages. We really appreciate all the love and support, guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks. This podcast is brought to you by Out the Top Media. Check us out on YouTube for race recap videos, tech tips, installs, product reviews, and much more.